So this is one of the most solid fundamental mountain escapes. It's really basic. You guys can check out Saulo's Jiu-Jitsu University. I got to work with one of Saulo's good black belts. Coached me for a while. I did some privates with him, Matt Jubera. And the biggest thing people mess up on mountain escapes in general, they kind of suck because you're in a bad spot, but it's really important because once you get them down, then you don't freak out anymore because you're comfortable. And that's where people freak out, is they get a little nervous or a little claustrophobic. I totally understand. And they don't keep their elbows tight. They don't focus on escaping. They focus on just expressing what they're doing is they're expressing physically how they emotionally feel, right? Which they feel like, oh, I'm scared as shit, so I'm trying to push this guy off. But if we can stay focused and calm and get those elbows in tight, let's talk about this basic frame escape from mountain. So first, without my partner, what am I trying to do? I need to get myself in this position. Okay, I need to have one leg up. I need to be sideways, not all the way sideways. Actually, when you go too far, it exposes your back. I want to actually be kind of a little bit almost 45-ish. Just enough where this knee can point down. That's it. That's what I'm looking for. Because it's very hard for the guy to get under that leg when my knee's in this position. That elbow's in tight on the same side. I'm grabbing the wristwatch here. It can be this, and this frame is tight. This is a very strong frame here. Elbow's tight. Okay, so we're gonna go through our basic options. So once I have this, so I have to just remember whatever situation's happening, say if coach is over here, you gotta remember he's passing my guard, things are going crazy, and all of a sudden I realize he's about to mount me. I need to just get in that position. I just need to do it. And if you can get this position, he can tell you he already doesn't like it. He feels uncomfortable. Now the second thing is, I just need to bring the knee. Look, I have my elbow strong, framing here. I'm just gonna bring the knee up. It's very hard for him to stop that. Now he's gonna have his feet tight, so a lot of times you gotta bridge and then bring the knee up. As soon as the knee's up, you have your underhook or your head control. If you take the underhook, you go to half guard. Back over mount. If I take the head control, I'm probably gonna keep going, like to open guard, full guard, attacking maybe omoplata or whatever you like to do there. So that seems too simple, but one thing I've seen people struggle with is they really try to like shrimp here. And if coach is giving me resistance and I'm trying to shrimp, actually I can't. Step up real quick, coach. Just look, if I try to do like this kind of thing, that's very hard for me to do. But what works the majority of the time is I don't shrimp. I just keep my frame very strong and I bring this knee under. And I'm pushing with this elbow here to collect that leg. Now, complications can happen. He's got a really good monkey foot, right? He's here, he's got this foot on my thigh like that, like just kind of track it, like don't let me get under, right? Like keep it really strong. That's a very common thing. You guys see that right there? So now I cannot get under that. But notice my frame is still strong, so I try here, and then I'm gonna straighten that leg, pushing it as far south as I can, and I can use the foot drag here, dragging it in. Same thing, underhook, half guard, head control, full guard. It's up to you. You gotta feel your game out, which way you like to go from there. Other things that can happen. One more time, this time give me super heavy pressure, so when I get the half guard, keep me here. Like sometimes you get here, now don't let me turn, like cross face on that side. You see this is giving me a lot of pressure right now. So there's no way that I can get back to the other side, because what I'd like to do is go half guard or full guard over there, but he knows that. Like what would you do to keep me from turning? Would you keep it tight? Yeah, like probably this position. Does it make sense, right? Because now this happens all the time. I have like a really bad half guard here. So look what I do here. My top hand is gonna basically pummel under. It's the only way I really can go easily here. Keep pressure, coach, pressure. Now I'm gonna start to go, look, I'm starting to go underneath for the deep half. I don't really like deep half, but I don't like being mounted even less. So now that I'm here, I can start to push him, rock left or right, reverse, and get out of there. Not gonna go into deep half, but that's the direction I go. That happens so many times. I can't tell you how many times that happens. The coach in the bottom, how many blue belts I've seen struggle over the years, even purple belts, some brown belts struggling when they get this half guard here and they can't complete the motion to the other side because he tries to go the other way now. They try to push this knee back into full guard. I keep that heavy. So he's in a lot of danger here. I can go for wrist lock, I can start to attack his back. So that's why it's really important that when this happens, sometimes you don't want to go all the way to the other side. It's going to be very hard, especially if I got a nice crossface on him here with my shoulder pressure, or even this kind of pressure. So that's where this top arm goes under my thigh and starts to work his way down the deep half here. Start working underneath, and then he has a better option from there, right? It's a better option than trying to just always go the other way. Sometimes you just can't. You've got to go with the flow. I'm going to go into a few more details because some other things happen when I go for this frame. Once my opponent knows that my frame is good, a very logical thing for him to do is to go to technical mount right here, just like that. So a couple of options here in technical mount. One more time, coach. Option one is if I catch the timing right, as soon as he goes, I just scoop my hips out and I'm automatically in a single leg X. Again. He goes, I automatically just scoop to single leg X. I prefer that if I can do it. Sometimes I can't do that though. He goes, he's sitting up like this, I can actually sit up on him. Looks like it won't work, but it works far too often. Let's do it again. So he feels, give him the regular mount please, and he feels my frame is really good, he goes there. Look what I do, I keep this frame here, he's upright, he's giving me space, but he's in the technical mount, slide up, and start to look push. Now he's gonna think he can take my back, and they always go for it. But look, my hip station, my hip control is right there. So every time he tries to go to my back, I end up on the top. You'd be surprised how many, even brown and black belts, you'd be surprised how often that works. One more option, this is the final option when he goes to technical mount. So far we've covered the scoop and the sit-up and frame. Now if he goes again, but he keeps that chest very heavy, there's no way I can sit up, he's smashing me down with his chest pressure here. So now I've got to do one more. It's very important here that my top hand goes under. Sit up push, they can see, no, it's just, you can keep the pressure, but just kind of, so you go with me here. I'm gonna show you the details here, this. So now instead of framing here, because pressure, look, I can't sit up, I can't do that last one. Elbow in, here, I'm gonna bump him forward, and then I scoop out the back. Start running. Okay, one last time. Heavy chest pressure. So that's a pretty good mount escape system. That's the basic frame, and we kind of went into all the details. Basically, it's something I've worked on a lot, had a lot of opportunities to work on that with the, 5 or 10,000, soldiers. Military is big in the mount position because it's a great place to beat someone's face in, and it's also really bad if someone, even an unskilled person, can beat your face in if they mount you, right? They can just ground and pound you there. So that's one of the better systems, especially in a competitive jiu-jitsu situation. That's what I typically do. A little more advanced than what I would probably use for strikes, but that's in our fundamentals playlist. This is the intermediate advanced. Thanks for watching, guys.